Hello, Maine. My name's Hollis, and you probably see some of the videos. Obviously, I'm Dan's wife, and by default, I've become the campaign manager for now. When I say that, it's only because there's two of us right now who do everything. And I have to be honest, running for Senate and doing all the stuff, I wouldn't exactly call it fun. It's a lot of hard work, but I wanted to show you what's behind me and who I am and how real this actually really is. As a lot of you probably saw the Maine GOP video when the guy called and he said, in order to be a serious candidate, you're going to need $1 million. We all know you need money to run. We know that. We're not stupid. But I never believed it for a minute that it's not possible. I think that anything is possible. And Dan is someone who's always believed in Trump. It's always been one of his big inspirations. I'm a big Trump fan too, and I know he's not for everyone. He's not everyone's cup of tea. But regardless, we've gotten some advice. You need to do this, and you need to appeal to moderates, and you need to do this. And all that stuff is coming, the policies. Wanted to put this out there. It's all coming. I know he needs a new website. He needs a separate Twitter. He needs a platform just for the candidate, the Senate stuff separately. This channel that I am on, I run and I put a lot of the videos, not a lot. I put every video on. I make every video. I work countless hours a day. I don't totally call it work because I actually really do love what I'm doing. But it's a lot. And it's a lot for one person. I never really asked for help. And the reason why is, we're a bit jaded. It's hard to trust people. You don't know if people are involved for the right reason. We've had people who are all gung-ho one minute, they're our best friends, are sharing the video, and then next thing you know, they're not into it anymore. They flip-flop. They go, all of a sudden, you're never going to win. You're this. I just want to remind you, before he decided to run, who else was there? I mean, if he doesn't win against her in the primary, then he doesn't win, and you're going to have Susan Collins. But we're obviously playing to win. And we haven't asked for help, but I'm actually going to ask for help because I can't do this by myself. Simultaneously with this, now if I was just focusing on this, I would take on the role as campaign manager and do everything. I've run businesses before and I've ran a band before. I'm a musician. A lot of the reason why I fight so hard is I went through a lot in the music industry and I saw what was done in entertainment. And it's all tentacles of the same beast, so to speak, right? We all know what's going on with P. Diddy and all that stuff. I have many videos about it. I don't talk that much about it because honestly, I have a whole album I haven't even got to because I have to do everything else. And these videos and this Twitter and all this stuff, it takes a lot of time. The Man in the Arena video took me a couple hours to make. You have to compile all the footage, then you have to cut it up, then you have to do this. I'm not trying to complain, but the point is, when you don't have that $1 million in the bank, it's hard. Is it impossible? No, nothing's impossible. But that's why we need help. And, again, there's been a lot of encouraging comments and nice comments from people. So there's always going to be the people who hate and who don't believe and who discourage you. And my view is kind of like, well, like I said, as far as I'm concerned that I know of, no one's ever actually challenged Susan Collins before. So if Dan doesn't win, then you're just going to have what you always had anyway. So why not try? That's my viewpoint. So raising money, we've never asked for donations before. My Rage campaign, Project Rage, restoring accountability and grassroots empowerment. We've been helping people since we moved up here over a year ago. So a couple months ago, I said, when Trump gets in office, it's really going to be the green light for everyone to get busy and start doing stuff. Exposing corruption. You don't have to be so scared. The whistleblowers can start blowing the whistle a little louder because they feel a little bit more protected knowing that things are changing up top. Kash Patel getting in, certain FBI members getting fired. Things are getting cleaned up top. That's why I always said do it on the grassroots level. So it makes me happy when I see people actually starting to put stuff out there. Like, let's go and let's beat corruption. They're forming groups, having investigative journalists, all that stuff, and it's been very hard because that's actually where my heart is at the most, next to music, is Rage. I put it out there. I'll put it out there again if you haven't seen the videos. We have some resources. We have some investigative journalists we work with. You know, you have 2 people in Maine in your backyard here who have sacrificed a lot as far as time, energy to get this radio station to the level where it's at. May not look like it just yet because you don't see it, but the platform's coming very soon. Every episode he has millions of listeners. Why do you think he's able to call General Flynn and talk to him and get him on the show?
Own the media, own it like you do, and have a show, and you have a great audience. And I love what you said earlier about, you know, you don't come on with any set of talking points that some corporation gave you. You come on there and you're like, hey, wow, this is what's happening today, and you give your analysis. And so your audience, your great, wonderful audience.
There's a lot of people in this administration that we have only a phone call or 2 away from. And the senator campaign, I really do think we could raise the money. Dan's the closest chance we have at that. Now, if you don't think so, that's fine. If you think there's a better candidate or you're a better candidate, please step up, give him some competition, or find someone that may suit you if he's not going to appeal to the moderates or that. Dan's a smart person, and he will do what he needs to do to try his best to win for all of us. If he has to tone it down in some areas, like, I get it. There's marketing, there's this and that, and that does take a team. Right now, I've just been trying like hell to get the attention out there. And I'm going to tell you, I think it's working. Because after our road trip, when I came home, I was like, oh gosh, everyone's going to really hate us here. Because you really feel like everyone's like, there's all this stuff happening. And everyone's like, oh, they're going to be mad at us. And we got here and we saw someone with the damn Smeriglio for Senator bumper sticker. He went into Walgreens and people were like, I'm voting for you. And so there's something working. VOP USA Radio, this Twitter account. One, Dan was using it because he's been banned on Twitter. As you guys know, he gets suppressed. When you're close to the truth, when you're saying real things and you're not bought. That's the one great thing about not having a lot of resources. We're 100% not bought. So we do rely, we don't rely on anyone yet. We've always gotten by. We work other jobs, you know. So when people, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? Where's your website? It takes time. One person. And I've actually did just quit my job a couple weeks ago, go full time again. Saved up some money, used credit cards. This is what it really takes and then you look back at the main GOP, wow, you're right. We don't have $1 million, we don't have any money, we better not do this. That's not how I think. We'll find the money in some way. You know, there are people out there. It's not that far-fetched. If we get Elon Musk's attention, Nicole Shanahan, we have links to her. Again, I haven't pulled the trigger on any of that yet or asked you guys to really put it out there and start tagging. Because I don't think it's impossible to get an endorsement from someone big who's going to be able to really help Dan get to the next level and get the funding he needs. You know, but like I said, now I'm at the point where I've really done everything I can. You guys know he's running. You haven't seen his policies yet because the website's not up. Now, I have that choice. Do I have to build another website? I actually do have a landing page for him that I've built. I'm currently helping build the new VOP USA platform. It's going to be kind of like a YouTube where we could have all content. Other people could come on and do shows and everything. It's all a work in progress. It's a lot of work. You know, the reason why we did that is to have our own network. Because let's face it, we've been banned for years. And I'm kind of new to this game the last couple of years, but I've seen the hell he's been through. All he did was from the beginning activism. He tried and he did. He helped put away those corrupt judges from the Kids for Cash scandal in Pennsylvania. His work helped him put away some bad, dirty cops. I mean, one person can make a difference. You could go on the YouTube video and watch it. There's a reason why I share it. You know, one person can make a difference, and he did. And he's loud, and he's aggressive, but he's smart too. And he knows what he needs to do to give himself the best chance to win. And if we got someone like Dan in there, you know for damn sure I do. I know with the ounce of my being that he really will fight for the people. It's true. As well as me. So I made this myself. I do everything. I'm tired. I need help. We both need help. Because like I said, no offense, we can't fight for Maine alone, and I don't want to. You know, why the fuck would I be fighting for Maine myself? Like, you guys live here. You're from here. You know, we moved here and this is our home now. So of course we're going to fight for it. The carpetbagger comment and this and that. You think if he really wanted to win office, he knows a lot of the people in West Virginia where he used to live. He knows Jim Justice, I forget what he is there, the governor or the senator or something. Like, he has ins other places. You know, it's not about, it's about this place needs some serious help. And I think he's the biggest chance we have right now. So, you know, we're willing, we could use input. You know, we want to win. And that's about it. So what I'm saying is, if anyone knows how to do a website, maybe if they want to do it, I'm used to doing everything myself. A lot of time, I have to be honest, because I can't trust a lot of people to do anything. We could pay people, but I make websites and I make videos. So it's like the chicken or the egg. Am I going to pay someone else? Don't have that much spare money to be paying other people, so I do everything myself, but I'm tired. So we want to raise money. Got to put a donation link up. And when I say that, I'm talking $5, $10 from everyone. Do the calculations here. There's 1,000 people out there who like Stan. Give them $5. It's $5,000. That's where it starts. $5,000. What's that going to get you? Maybe some T-shirts, flyers, bumper stickers, some social media boosts. You know, it's $50 every time to boost something on Twitter. I haven't done it yet. You know, you can make your resources go a long way. You know, we don't need $1 million. You need blood, sweat, grit, perseverance. You need some money, of course. But like I said, we've already put so much money into this platform to making it so we could show real news, so we could tell the stories that you won't hear anywhere else. Let's face it, we don't have any support from local media. Like, a few people put stuff up, but it's only because we probably put that main GOP video up. You know, we have no support from local media. No one reaches out to him for comments or anything. We'll get there. But you know, we're up against, guys. So my point is saying, at this point, we're done fighting alone, especially for the senator race. So what I'm going to do is just put it out there. If you are good at graphics, make some graphics. Feel free to make some graphics. I won't get mad. Start putting stuff up. Smeriglio for senator. Let's get Collins out there. Start doing stuff. I'm going to continue to do it, but I can't do all of it. So if you guys are backing him and like him, then help. If you're waiting to see what his policies, if you're not sold on them, that's fine. The website's all coming soon. As I said, people need to have patience because these things take time, and they will. I don't mean years or months. I mean, it's not that long of a race here, but you know, in the next month or two, we'll have everything up. Could go faster depending if I have some help here. Otherwise, you'll see then. But if you're already sold on them, and if you're not sold on them, that's fine. Wait, see what he says. If you haven't taken the time to go and watch his video of activism, you can't really see who his character is. You haven't seen all the stuff that I've literally spent hours and hours, weeks and months making to show you who he is. If you haven't watched his shows, if you don't know what he's all about, if you have to question, is he real? I don't know if I should get behind him yet. It's okay. Like, that's fine. But otherwise, if you're sold on it and you want someone besides Susan Collins in there, then reach out. You can email me, you can do a message, we could brainstorm. You know, like I said, really it's like banners and flyers and helping us get social media freaking followers. We're going to do a separate Twitter account like Dan for Senate or whatever, and just start there because we know he's always shadow banned. I don't know, like his account is always like blocked or whatever. So we just maybe start again, and maybe there's someone else who wants to help me get followers for it and stuff, because I just can't do it all alone. Okay, so this video is long enough. But, yeah, I just thought, you know, I would kind of tell you who I am. And like I said, why we put a lot of stuff up on here. And someone wrote, one or two people, you're too in people's faces, you're in this. Well, you know what? You have to be in people's faces when you have no other help. How else are they going to see it? You have to get out there and put out. And if you can't handle it, I'm sorry. But there needs to be some drastic action here, and something has to change. It's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you guys want to do the same thing over and over again, that's cool, but you're gonna end up with Susan Collins, unless some other magical person comes in here and decides to run for Republican against her, which very well could happen. At that point, okay, whoever's best for the job, I guess. But right now, Dan has actually stepped up because no one else has. And instead of, maybe an encouraging word to us, because actually a encouraging word goes quite far when you're tired and you're wondering if you should keep going. We never really doubted or said to stop. But at one point you're like, why are we doing this? If you guys don't care as much as we do, then why are we doing this? And I'm not saying all of you, because there's a lot who do. So just please know that. I know there's some good ones out there. So anyway, I'm going to probably not post this, but maybe I will.